everyone, my name is Lucy and welcome back to another reading vlog. So if you've missed any of my previous vlogs, I will link my playlist down below. But in this vlog, I'm hoping to read two books. So we have The Rise of Kyoshi by FCE, which I started earlier this year, and I'm hoping to finish it soon. So I'm quite far into it. So it's a prequel series to Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is an amazing show. If you haven't seen it, I would really recommend it. And we follow Kyoshi, who is the Avatar before Aang. And the Avatar is the only person in the world who can use all four elements. Some people can use one element, but only the Avatar can use four. And the Avatar is supposed to keep balance between the spirit world and the human world, and good and evil. And in this book we follow Kyoshi, and it starts off from when she is a child, and there is a case of mistaken identity. And a lot of things happen in this book. It is emotional, it is heartbreaking in places, and I can't wait to find out what happens next. There is also a romance, there is friendship, there is found family, and it's really nice, so I can't wait to read more of this. The other book I'm hoping to read is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, who is the author of Sorcery of Thorns, which is one of my all-time favourite books, which is on my shelf. And I'm going to be reading the ebook from Scribd, so I have a link down below if you want to get 63 days of Scribd. You can get access to ebooks and audiobooks on there. So I'm going to be reading that, and in that one we follow a character who is a painter, and she paints sorrow into a Fae's eyes on her painting, and you're not supposed to do that because Fae aren't supposed to feel emotions. So then she gets taken to the Fae world, and apparently the Fae start to feel again. So it sounds really interesting, and I'm hoping that it will be similar to Sorcery of Thorns in terms of the vibes. I'm hoping for a cute romance, maybe some friendship, and just a nice little magic story. So we're going to see, but those are the two books I'm hoping to read. Alongside this, I will also be doing my French and Polish. So I am writing blog post study notes on my blog. So my blog is linked down below if you want to check that out. So at the moment I am revising, and then I'm going to be making some more posts with some new vocabulary. So I'm going to be doing that, and then probably playing some games as well as cooking, and maybe doing some baking this week. So we will see. And yes, please let me know in the comments down below what you're reading or what you're up to, because I would love to know, and I will check in a bit. So it's a couple of days later, and I have finished The Rise of Kyoshi. I'm so happy that I finally finished this book. So this was a very slow read, and I had to keep pushing myself to read it, which is unfortunate. So in this book we follow Kyoshi from a child, and then she's a bit older, and things happen, and she ends up on this journey, and this is definitely darker than the show Avatar, and expect a morally grey character. I must have to tell you that. If you're expecting a character like Aang with a lot of virtue, there are some decisions in here that do not follow that kind of hero. So there are some different things in here. I don't really want to spoil it, but if you want to read this, I would really recommend it for fans of Avatar, but just be aware that this is darker and the character is a little bit different. There is also a female-female romance in this as well. This was quite a slow read for most of the book, especially towards the end, even though a few more things were happening, because a lot of the book, not much was happening. To be fair, we were like building up to things. And then towards the end, things started to happen again, but I still had to like force myself to pick it up a lot, which was really annoying, but I wanted to finish it because I was near the end. And the ending, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. It was okay, but there are still some things that Kyoshi did that I'm a bit like questioning of, but it's kind of understandable with her character. So I decided to give this 4 stars. It was a slow read, but I did like it and I am glad that I read it. There is a second book in the series, but I don't think I'm going to be reading it. I had a look at the summary of it, and I'm just not happy with the way that it goes. It just isn't for me. But if you like Avatar, I would recommend checking this out. So I'm really happy that I finished this book. So it is currently very hot in England at the moment, and I have decided to start a new audiobook. So I think I'm going to try listening to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I've been kind of interested in reading it, and because I really liked The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I was getting similar vibes from this. So I'm going to give the audiobook for The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo a go, and that's on Scribd as well, so that's really great. So I'm going to start that, and then I might read An Enchantment of Ravens, but I'm feeling more like gravitating towards Evelyn Hugo at the moment, so I will update in a bit. Reading update. So I'm on chapter 9 of Evelyn Hugo. Oh my gosh, I'm really enjoying this book. And there are things that are making me kind of smile. There was actually something that made me like shocked. I'm feeling so many emotions, and I'm really enjoying this book. And I'm starting to think that maybe historical fiction might be for me. I know, shocking, because I usually read fantasy, but I read Maggot Moon and I've still been thinking about that, even though that wasn't even a 5-star read. And now this one I'm really enjoying as well. And we're following Evelyn's life, so from when she's a child to nowadays when she's like in her 70s, and we're following her life through Hollywood and her getting famous and her different marriages, and her life already she's done so much to climb the ladder to get famous, and so much is happening. So I'm really enjoying this, and that's actually quite surprising me. But I think I want to check out more books like this that are like kind of contemporary historical. So, wow, maybe I've found something new to read. We're going to see. But yes, I will update in a bit, but just something shocking just happened and I was like, oh my gosh. So, yes, I'm enjoying this book. Hello. I just finished The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Oh my gosh, I am an emotional wreck. I teared up 4 times. I proper bawled my eyes out once. Proper crying from it. Oh my god. So, wow. So in this book, we follow Evelyn and we follow her trying to climb the ladder and become famous and get more rich, be in more movies. And we see all of her different husbands and what happens and the story. And in this book, there is a lot about like LGBT, and especially you see how lesbian and gay people were treated and how they couldn't be who they are. And it was heartbreaking. It was really hard to read about. And yeah, this is based on real things that happen. So if you're looking for lesbian, gay, bisexual representation, I would really recommend checking out this book. And it was heartbreaking. And then the message at the end, and just mild spoilers here, so skip ahead like 30 seconds if you don't want to know anything. But the message of this book is that Evelyn at the end didn't have the people she loved. She had money, she had the fame, but she didn't have the people she loved, and that is what she wanted. She wanted more time with the people she loved. And she'd done all of this, and she'd lost everyone. And that is heartbreaking. And I feel like the message in this is focus on the people in your life. That's what matters. And I feel like this book just had a really good message, and it was just so heartbreaking. And the things that she went through, the things that other characters went through, and the fact that this was based on things that actually did happen in real life. These things really did happen to people, and yeah, it was horrible, and it was upsetting and heartbreaking. So yes, if you're looking for representation, I would definitely recommend checking this book out. And I'm giving this 5 stars. Because it was just so good. We see the different movies, we see her life, we see her husband, her relationships, and I just really thought it was a great book. So I would really recommend it. And yes, it's my second new favourite of the year, I think. So the other one was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I feel like they've got kind of similar vibes about going through someone's life and their relationships and being heartbreaking, essentially. So if you have any similar book recommendations, please let me know, because I would really like to check them out. But I do think I'm going to try some more historical fiction and maybe contemporary, because I ended up, after a while, I was just listening to it really quickly. I would really recommend the audiobook. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. I was just listening to a lot of it in one go because I just wanted to see what happened next. And there were times when I was actually shocked or I was tearing up. And I just felt so many emotions during this. And there's moments throughout where she says something and it's like foreboding something else. And you're like, oh, like what's happened? Like what's going to happen? So yeah, it was really good. And there were questions that I had throughout. And I was thinking like, what's happened? Why is she here? What's going on? So yeah, it was a really great book. And yes. So with that, I am going to end this vlog. So in this vlog, I managed to finally finish The Rise of Kyoshi. Very happy about that. And I'm giving this like 4 stars. I am glad that I read it. It was quite dark, but I am glad I read it. And I started an Enchantment of Ravens, but I'm probably going to pick that up on a later date. And then I read all of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and gave it 5 stars. Would highly recommend. So yes, now I am emotional. So I hope that you're all doing well, and thank you so much for watching. Please let me know how you are doing in the comments, and if you've read any of these books or if you're interested in reading them, if you have any book recommendations for me. And yes, I hope that you're all doing okay, and I will hopefully see you in another video soon. Please check out my other videos if you would like to, and like and subscribe if you would like to. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video soon. Bye.